Good morning, all of you. I am Amit Kumar, HOD of Department Civil Engineering, Center for Bioinformatics, Polytechnic College, Ranchi. We are honored to present a webinar on the topic Challenges at Construction Site. Our expert, Mr. Nawaz Haider, working as Assistant Construction Manager at L&T in UAE. Now, I am sharing the platform to our expert. Haider sir. Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Amit.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. So, good morning to all of you and welcome to this session. I have been advised that it is challenges to construction. I thought to present it in a certain way that as you are all final year students going through different emotions of going to next job or higher studies or going to another. So accordingly, what I have done, I have kept the presentation in the name. Mr. Amit, can you allow me to share the presentation?
Yes, sir.
So what I was saying, kept that presentation in camp to corporate. That means from campus to corporate, how the life changes as a staff and how the role of a corporate world where you have to work in different fields, whether you go into a office-based designing, AutoCAD, into a project site phase where you have to do the execution or certain things. The topic of challenge will be shared, but challenges are always a part of what we do. And there will be to see and we have to overcome those challenges and complete the work. So accordingly, I will share you what we are doing in L&T. So to brief about me, working as Assistant Construction Manager in L&T and posted in Saudi Arabia for one of the project. I did my graduation from SRM in the year of 2014. I have a work experience of 6 years. Currently, I am looking after BIM, that is Building Information Modeling for the project of Saudi Arabia, that is Maden project, which we are executing. And that's what my introduction is there. So I will just share, let me see if I can share the screen. Yes, I can share now. So once again, I welcome you to this session of Campus to Corporate. I would request all of you to mute your mic. It will be easier for me also and to you also to hear and to discuss. So moving forward, once you are, may I request everyone to mute their mic? Mr. Amit, can you please request the concerned participant to mute their mic?
Yes, sir. अपना mic को mute कर लो. Dear students, everybody mute your mic.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So moving forward, I'll be coming to all the topics as to say what you call emotion or to know what is you are going to do once you are graduate, once you are in the field of construction, what kind of role you will be delivering. This is something when you then only you come to know that what are the things you are required to perform and the company you. After you have graduated or once you are final year qualified a certified engineer, then you will be going into two roles. First is the site one, where based on the project manager decision, you will be the 4 departments, that is planning or execution or safety. I will exaggerate other in the next slide. However, if office based, you are provided an office based job, then in that case you will need role. First is the draftsman. Either you have to do the drafting, that is using the AutoCAD or the Tekla kind of software for drafting, or you may be asked to design a basic structure. For example, say column, the simple structure that will office when you are being joined. At the same time, if you join business unit, in the office we have a BU, where the BU gets the job and the engineering department execute those job through engineering part. So if you go into, maybe given the opportunity to go to talk to client, vendor, bill payment, these kinds of role. So these all types of roles I will detail. So once you are getting a desk job, that is an office job where you are located, so you are expected to do a basic design and 2D, 3D modeling, which are, if you are going for a business, that all depends on the company which you are joining. So you will be given the tender work of different vendors. You have to do this part of the job. These are the basic when you as a join as a trainee, that is ET or GET, graduate engineer trainee or diploma engineer trainee. In this kind of part, you will be assigned this kind of job in a company. So next is the site job. Once you are recruited in a company and site, so based on the project manager or the project director decisions or the availability of the resources, sign in any post which I have explained, that is planning. So in planning, when you have assigned, there are different rules play. First is the scheduling part, where you have to be assigned as a scheduler. You may be assigned to a main scheduler as a sub scheduler, where you have to support him on the daily basis of the what are the works that is being updated. Then we have a software which you might also have heard called as Primavera or P6. So these are the software where you will be required to update the schedule or the activity, what are the site activity have been completed, in order to monitor the baseline versus actual progress. Because everything where your invoicing is there, where your completion of project is concerned, everything is compared with respect to your baseline to actual. So right now I'm seeing through the planning. So one part will be which you expected is scheduling. Once you can be assigned in that one, or you can be assigned in bill certification. Now in bill certification, what can be done? There are certain parameters which we agree with our subcontractor that how we will certify the bill. Like in the formwork area is there, so shuttering part is there. So we understand that this particular meter square is there the shuttering work. So that unit you have to calculate how much the shuttering is required and how much the subcontractor is claiming. So is it, your calculation and subcontractor calculation should match. So that will help you to understand the bill certification. Now, if this bill is okay, you can create the bill, or you can go for the work order creation. That is the third part. That is once the subcontractor is finalized, everything is done, then you go for the work order creation, that this work order has to be assigned to this particular subcontractor. He has to execute this particular job within this material and this schedule. And the last part of this planning is invoicing. Once our schedule is there, we have paid to our vendor, so we take all those bills, we prepare our invoice to the client, which we do every month, or say the last Thursday of every month. We submit the invoice to client. Client takes 2 weeks time to review, and then the payment is cleared from them. So if you are joined in planning, you are expected to perform in this particular 4 major role. If you are being assigned to go in execution, you may be assigned as a site supervisor, where you will be having a foreman and a gang, which expected to, based on the drawings, the 2D drawings or the 3D models, you are expected to understand the structure. You are expected to calculate the manpower requirement, material requirement, plant and machinery requirement, and submit to your IS or immediate superior to get the resource and perform the job. Or you may be assigned as a surveyor also. For a company like us, we L&T, generally what we do for surveying, we have one part, but mostly we offload it. Basically, we subcontract the surveying job to our subcontractors are there in any part of the continent which we are working. So this particular surveyor, we don't have much in, to be honest, in our field. We generally offload this particular part. So once you are doing the execution, the third part is expected is the quality. You may be assigned in a quality department, where you will be assigned as a quality engineer. Now the role shall be of the quality engineer is to verify the drawing and the work executed at site. You are expected to have a basic understanding of the codes. Like if you're going for a civil, you may be knowing IS 456-2000, where certain tolerances are mentioned. If you are having a steel structure, you may be having IS 800-2007, where certain tolerances are mentioned. Or even ASTM codes are also there in certain cases, which we need to refer for tolerances or to understand how much we can bear. because engineering, what they do, they deviation is expected. The site needs to re-weld it. So that is a decision that the engineering team, after the discussion, takes. The last part is the safety. Now, as a safety engineer, you may be having a very broad role. Safety of the workman perform. For going as a safety engineer, the company which recruits you provides a basic training that what the safety engineer has to do. What are the certification you have to understand? In international business, we have OHAS, that is Occupational Safety and Statistics. That is an international standard which we need to follow, and all the companies to that particular safety engineer. Apart from all these four jobs which I was saying, execution, quality, and safety. The safety and quality, these are the two most important in the construction field, because if you are doing the work in proper quality, to do the rework, maintaining the quality, then you also maintaining the safety also. Now, safety is something which we generally every day we have to see. Even the road crossing, we cross the road. So there are something mindset is there in the people. For example, if I have asked you to climb on a stair of 32-meter tank, for the initial period, you will keep all the precaution. But if the same staircase is there and you have to travel up and down for the 1 year, you will take into granted. Okay, I know this is the step. There is where landing is there, where rise is there. That is the thing where the safety occurs more, where you lapse the safety and then some incident happen, and some incidents definitely affect a black spot on the company. Even if one LTI, that is the lost time injury, occurs in your project executed, that is the biggest black spot in the construction field, because that will not help you to get more projects. Because as a common scenario or as a common field, whenever you submit a tender, the employer will definitely ask you, please submit the safe man hour in the last 3 years. And if any LTI is there, then it's very difficult for you to compete in that job. So these are the four major roles which I have explained in a side job if you are doing, or in the office job you are doing. So these are the roles which the company will be expecting you to perform. Definitely there will be guides will be there, your boss, your IES will be there who will be doing this particular, helping you out how this has to be done. So this is just a brief scenario of the roles. Next, I will move it to type of the projects. You might be knowing what are the type of projects we will be doing, but just to brief everyone, there are three major type of project which we classify as a contractor. First is a lump sum or EPCC project, which we call. When I say EPCC, it means engineering, procurement, construction, and commissioning. So these are the four activities which we have to do and hand over the plant to the client, who will be taking over and running the plant. So this is a lump sum. In this, the claim part is very little. You won't be able to claim much thing because it is a lump sum. It is not an actual quantity. When you go with item rate, for example, if you have to build a building, so what you do, you take just the manpower with the material. So based on the concrete rate, shuttering, steel, manpower will be provided to you. A crew of gang will be provided to you. So that is the item rate material. That is generally for the small job which you have to do. And the third part is, which we L&T does not much entertain, is the cost plus. What happens in this cost plus? For example, in the same building I take, if the same building, you have to do an estimation, and the estimation will be reviewed by the client. If the client estimation, your estimation match, means if the client has to build that building, he will be charging rupees 100. He will be using 100 rupees to build that building, and you also cost 100 rupees. So what the client will do, he will give that to you. 100 rupees will be your cost to cost, plus 5 to 10% will be profit that will be given separately to you. So that is what a cost plus is, which is mentioned as a contract where a contractor is paid for all of its allowed expenses plus additional payment to allow for a profit. So this type of business to make everything equal so that no one at a later stage can say, okay, this information was not shared to us or this information has been provided to us. To mitigate that one, the employer circulates again the revised ITP with all the clarification or the negotiation taking place. Now, based on that clarification and understanding, we submit a techno-commercial offer to employer, and employer, arguing with the consultant, calls top three bidder, that is L1, L2, and L3. That is the bidder name that I'll say. So they call the top three bidders and they start commercial negotiation. That okay, if your price is 200 rupees, no, 200 is more too much. I will be giving you 150. So the contractor will say no, 150 will be not giving any profit and it's very loss. So in a different round of negotiation, it will come to around 180 rupees. Okay, 180, the deal is done. In this way, the bidder or the employer call for their commercial negotiation, and then the award is happening. So this is the first is the pre-bid stage, then is the bidding stage, then comes the award stage. Once everything is clear, both the contract team are working together, and then the award of the contract is taken into consideration. The award is provided to the successful bidder. So generally, one kickoff meeting is happening between the employer, consultant, and contractor to know each other and to know the scope of work. One understanding is there. And after the award stage, the next stage, that is the immediate, is the engineering stage. Now, what we do in engineering stage, we divide the complete project into three different parts. That is the 30% model, 30% engineering, 60% engineering, and 90% engineering. Amit, I think there is a lot of this screen. I think someone is highlighting in the screen. Hello?
आप कुछ लिखिए मत, students.
Okay. So in 30% engineering, just I'll, to be honest to all of you before, because these are the things which you will be getting to know, but once you are getting into job. So I'm trying to just share all this information which I have learned from my experience, because these things were not shared to me also. So moving ahead, this engineering stage that will be divided into three parts, 30%. So in 30%, what we do, we have the tentative layout of the project, and the size of all the equipment and buildings are fixed. So that is what we call 30%. Whenever we have the tentative now that is formed, that is fixed. So we prepare 60%. And then the 90% model is there, which IFC drawings are released to site. IFC for construction, that is released to site for construction. They can go ahead with that 90% engineering work. That is the engineering stage. Now in the procurement stage, similarly, based on the 30% engineering, we float the inquiry, that is RFQ. RFQ means request for quotation. We float the inquiry in the market, get the offers from the vendors or the subcontractor. Once the offer is received, offer evaluation and technical discussion starts. And based on the 60% engineering, again a round of discussion in order to clarify and resolve any technical or commercial issues. And the successful bidder is going through commercial negotiation, and suitably the package is awarded. That is in the procurement stage. Now, what we do in the construction stage, during the 30% engineering, since the construction cannot start, so what we do, we review the drawing. The construction team is there along with the project director, project manager, construction manager, site planner, all the important role person, key assigned person, they will be reviewing the drawing, and a discussion with engineering team happens in order to review the constructability. I will share you something, because what happens in engineering or in the drawing, you have also seen, we are following the standard codes. In site, when we execute the job, there is a different code and the part which we are going to execute it. So what happens? The construction is not a friendly part. So as a result, the construction becomes very difficult for everyone to execute. There is a challenges in construction, that is I'm coming to later on. And to resolve that one, in the initial stage also, only we start discussing with our engineering or our engineering coordinators. Need this particular material to be having constructed in this way. We feel the construction can be done where the welding will be less, where the accessibility is there. Taking all those into consideration, they take a discussion, and the engineering follows our concern where required, and they design the structure accordingly. Now, that is the one part where we will be doing. Second is, once we have the drawing, we start preparing the schedule. Now, after the award of the package, The first role from the construction side is that to prepare a schedule. That is the planning part which I was explaining to you. In schedule, we prepare first L3, level 3. There are different level of schedules are there. First is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Now to make things easier for you, to make you understand, just for example, try to imagine in this way. Level 1 means your father is there. If someone asks his introduction, he will say he is your father. That is the level 1. Level 2 will be there, his father and your mothers are there. Your mother is there. That is the level 2. Level 3 means your father, your mother, yourself, and your any siblings. So that is the level 3. And level 4 will be then when your children or when your some future part is there, that is the level 4. So in this way, the detailing is there. So if I have to do in level 1, I can say the building is start to be constructed like foundation will be there, column will be there, beam will be there, slab will be there. That is my level 1. Level 2 will be there. I will see when the columns can be casted, when the slab can be casted, when the beams can be casted, and what are the resources I will be required. Level 3 means I will include manpower, machinery, and material. Triple M that we call MMM. Manpower, material, and machinery. So that 3 will be included. And then we prepare the in L4, we give a detailed based on the IFC drawing. We understand what be done to give a client a better view, because the client or the employer or the consultant is be asking you for L4 schedule. They won't be restrained to L3. L3 will be only for the. So we prepare and then we submit to client. That is the construction stage. After that, we plan for the mobilization of a staff and workmen. And sometimes when we are doing an overseas project like in Saudi Arabia, we discuss with the government of kingdom, that is Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that what are the resources we required for visa purpose, because we need the visa quota also to mobilize the staff from India. This is the thing which we also take into part, and the construction of project suitably start once we receive the 90%. After the project is completed, the next phase comes the commissioning stage. Now in there are many equipments which are being supplied by a vendor. For example, is there, then Sandvik is there. These are the major equipment supplier. They come into picture or site, they charge up the equipment, and from commissioning point of view, they train the employer staff. 1 month training is given to all the employer staff to know how the plant will be running, what are the small items that they need to take care, what are the alarms, what are the risks, what is there when certain PLC is there, what are the reason it is getting showing an alarm. These kind of things that employer or that vendor explain to the employer, and then employer does a 10 to 20 days a trial run where the vendor will just sit and idle and say watch the plant. And once the client is happy, yes, they are confident of doing the job, the complete handover. So once the project is completed, then the commissioning stage is completed. For a in the contract, there is a stage called that is called defect liability stage. Now, defect liability is similar to like an equipment. For example, if you go to the market and buy an AC or a washing machine, the Samsung or LG, that will give you a 1 year warranty or 1 year guarantee that any defect, any something happens, we will come and repair or do the repair or replace it free of cost. Same thing is there. So once project is completed, we inform the employer that this particular job is done, official letter is sent, and employer with the check all the missing point, if and something is there, like any punch point are there, any work, any document is not there, he goes through all these multiple points, and then confident, yes, everything is okay, or he's satisfied, he provides the completion certificate, and immediately the DL is the defect liability period. Generally, 2 years of warranty is provided to employer from contract. Found during the DLP period, the contractor repairs free of cost. So we do that particular job for 2 years. For example, the project which I have executed in UAE, that is Emirates Global Aluminium, EGA1 plant is there. We built alumina refinery there. So there were many tanks, many SMP3, many structures are there. So 2018 January we have completed that one, and we got our completion certificate. Now DLP is also over into January 2020. The thing now, that is the stage where we are going. So my past experience, which I was explaining you, these are the tanks. This is the project which I was sharing to you that DLP is over. That is the EGA plant. That is Emirates Global Aluminium. It is one of the biggest alumina supplier in UAE and one of its kind. So we have built the alumina refinery. On the left hand side, if you can see the picture, these are called 420 area, that is precipitation. These are not insulated. On the right hand side, if you can see this particular part, these are called clarifier tanks and these are insulated tanks. So you can see a very beautiful covering or insulation sheeting is there. So this particular tank, that is precipitation, it does not require insulation because the temperature won't be going too much high. However, in this particular clarifier tank that is on the right hand side, the temperature will be going around to 150, 180 degrees centigrade. So insulation is required to prevent anyone of any incident or something like that. So it was a very big project which we have completed and we have handed over to client successfully. Now, moving to a construction. Now, everywhere you might have heard in the past that there are many things in construction. So BIM, I'm not sure any one of you have heard of BIM. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Any one of you have heard of BIM?
Yes, sir.
BIM, great. So BIM in this construction field is also known as building information modeling. That is the smart model, which we call. So how do we do it now? The time of AutoCAD or 2D modeling is, to be honest, is a history. We do certain things, but mostly we are relying on 3D model. The reason of 3D model is to make the things more understandable, to check the interface part, to have the knowing of what are the things that need to be constructed, and to avoid any miss out. 2D drawings, which we have AutoCAD or some other software, we don't get much idea. We only get a 2D picture. Okay, this particular in plan, it will look like this section, it will look like this. So what we do now, we have been upgrading our construction technique also. So we are using smart modeling software. So I'll just share one of my project. Please keep it to yourself. We are not allowed to share. So if you can see my screen, this is the project which I was saying I am executing right now in Saudi Arabia. So this is a particular Mansoura Masara gold project is there, which we are performing. So if you can see this particular structure, these are all this is a 3D model basically, which help us to understand. Basically, we are doing the 3D in Aviva software. Now from Aviva, since everyone is not acquaintance in Aviva, so what we did, we put out export the model and use in Naviswork. Naviswork is user friendly and it's easily installed in software in your laptop also, and anyone can view the project also. So this is the plant, or this is a 3D plant which we are constructing. Right now, the detail engineering is going on. We are at 60% review, which I have explained to you. So this particular part is called run over mine, that is ROM. And we have a retaining wall of 100-meter length, which is being casted right now. So Amit, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, that's good. So this is particular the 3D or the primary crushing area which we have. So what happens, it gives a clear picture of how the foundation will be. If you can see the foundation, how the combined footing will be there, how the raft will be there, then we have some combined footings for the pedestals. All things are clearly visible. Inward beams are there. Then you have the counterfort. So many different structures, understanding of how the process will be going on, what needs to be constructed at first stage, another what we have to construction. So your construction stage also, or your construction scheme also gets clarified to everyone, because now everyone is seeing the 3D model and 3D is easily to understand to everyone. So it gives a clear picture what the model will be and what the process plant will be. So this is one of the things which we are using. Secondly, I'll just go to my slide. So this is the smart modeling which we are using. Secondly is the 4D planning. Now 4D planning means nothing. It is just 3D model you might have heard. 3D model plus your level or your schedule. When both are synchronized, it is called 4D. And when your 3D model plus your schedule plus your costing, whatever cost you are having, when you include all this, then it is called 5D planning. So 4D planning we are doing here. I will just show you one particular structure which I am working on. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
This is what the 4D modeling is there. So this is one of the job role which you will be subjected to assign or perform when you are in the company or the corporate world. So here it is a schedule. This is the complete schedule which we have. On the right hand side, this is called the Gantt chart. Gantt chart means it will show the activity, what are the activity by the month and the day when you scroll down. The red line, I'm not sure if everyone can see their mobile or not, but this is called focus time. When I move the focus time, it will show what is the construction is happening. On the left hand side, if you can see my window, that is, we are modeling the same model which I have shown to you, that ROM pad or the retaining wall. We are doing construction of that one. So that is 3D using plan date. So whatever we have the baseline, this particular window will show the baseline should go like that. On the right hand side, this is as per the actual. This is the actual requirement, that actual what we have executed at site. So just let me play an animation for you. Just be patient and we'll see what is being done. So just keep a focus on these two windows. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you can see on the right hand side and the left hand side, the casting of the counter for draft foundation is being going on. Plan versus actual is okay. I will stop in the month of May because that is our data date. So you will see what are the things that is being casted or that is being performed. So just I will explain you. On the left hand side, if you can see, I'll just zoom in.
Yeah.
So as per the schedule, it says that the casting of south wing wall has to be done on 30th of May. But in actual, on the right hand side, it is not casted. So the reason is, as we all know, throughout the globe, the COVID-19 is there and we are not able to cope up with that. And since it is affecting the construction, so our site is also not working to avoid any contamination of this particular novel COVID. So once the construction is regaining or restarting, we will be getting the date. So in this way, we are monitoring the 3D or the 4D part. So this is what we are doing with the 4D planning with the synchro. And one part is BIM 360. That is one of the software which we are using in iPads. We have been given some iPads from the company. Now in this iPad, we load this BIM 360 app, and then what happens? We given this access to our all construction manager, engineer. Now in the model itself, now everyone don't have to carry the drawing. Biggest problem and the challenge is the site to have the drawing. And the second biggest problem is, after having the drawing, you are not knowing what other structure is coming next to you. To cope up with that particular drawback, we have made this BIM 360 where the iPad we are giving to all the construction engineers. They will be going with the iPad. They have the model. They can review everything and they can come or they can find the observation what has to be done, and suitably it will be getting in the cloud. The cloud means a server where the data will be getting uploaded, but this particular engineer has raised a concern on the construction of this particular structure. So certainly that particular engineer, our engineering office will be getting a notification that this particular issue is created, and they will be addressing that particular issue. So this is what we are doing in BIM 360. Now, what are the challenges? This is, I think, the topic which Mr. Amit has explained to us, but I have to go through all those parts to make you understand what are the challenges that will be coming. Because challenges are there when you work. When we don't have work, we don't have challenges. So the first challenges we are having or we face is the local issues. Now, what I mean by local, in the newspaper or in the news in the last 2 years back, you might have heard of one particular location that is in near to Chennai. It is Tuticorin. That is a project called Vedanta copper plant was there. So we were building that particular construction. We were doing the construction of that. But due to some environmental issue, and then the locals also explained to the government that this particular harm is there. Now what happened? The government and the Supreme Court put a stay order on that construction, and that particular job is now closed. We have done the bidding, we have done all the things, we are on very advanced stage of engineering, but everything gone to crap. Nothing can be done. So that is one of the issue which we face. Similarly, one more project of Vedanta in Rajasthan, where the client Vedanta had some deal with the local person to give them the employment. They didn't agree, or they didn't provided them the job. So what happens when we mobilized the locals and they came to our site, and obviously our security was there, but when people come in a group of 1,000, so 2,000, you cannot handle everyone. So we have to request the government to interfere, and at that stage Vedanta had to give them some job, and then the project got delayed because every day the site would have to be closed because of the local issues. This is one kind of challenge which we face. Second is the client issue. Client issue, which I mean that during the tender stage or award stage, the client agrees that, okay, on this particular date, you will be given the land to mobilize. Now, what happens when we are ready to mobilize? We came to know the client has not yet bought the land. Now, our mobilization is stuck. Now, we are paying the hiring charge of the equipments, or we are having additional costs because we are not able to mobilize or start the job. So these are the challenges which we face from the client side. Moreover, there are certain phases also when during the lump sum or the type of project which I was explaining as EPCC, engineering, procurement, construction and commissioning. What happens during the engineering stage or in the tender part, the client says, okay, I need this particular building. Now I don't want this particular building, but you remove that particular from your scope. So this is again a claim part or the client issue. In the tender part, they will not say what kind of bedroom they or equipment or furniture they need for the resident part. But when we are going to construction, we submit them the offer that this is the bed or this is the dining table. This company dining table will be purchasing and installing. At this stage, they come into picture saying that no, we don't need this particular dining table. We need a higher brand. Now that particular cost has not been absorbed in our side. And the contract also, it says that it has to be compliant. So these are the things which come later on as a client issue, and yes, we have to go through it. There are certain times where they agree, there are certain times which we agree in the interest of the project. Now the third part is the communication understanding problem. This is the most common problem which I believe, because this is our day-to-day life. Means you will be saying something to your friend or your colleague and he's saying, oh, I understood in that way that I thought you meant that. So that is the biggest problem in the construction field, which I personally have suffered in my last project, which I was sharing for the UAE, where there was some issue on the welding, how the welding has to be done. So as per the drawing, I explained to the supervisor, and I was in an impression that supervisor would convey the same to the workman who is executing or the welder who is executing the job. But I don't know, second time when the same issue arose and the client called me, it was really very difficult situation to handle. So I went to the client, welder, I called him. I talked to him that I have explained this to your supervisor. Did you understand? Then he told me that my supervisor didn't told me anything, sir. How can I do? Then I understand this is the one of the common thing. So if you want to execute or ensure that the work is to be done in your requirement, you have to personally supervise that one. So particular that situation, I learned that whenever I will convey something, I stand in front of them, I make a trial. Okay, you have to do like this, do like this. Yes, it is good. Then only I leave the place that this particular job has to be done in similar way for the rest of the structure. So that is the common part of that one. Second one which you face in the challenge is material part. For example, this noble COVID you see. all the sites of L&T throughout the globe. We are right now doing the work in more than 35 countries or 35 nations. Mostly everywhere the work is stopped. Now what happens? The material is not there. The availability of material is getting hindered because something is available in the country, but other thing has to be imported. Now the different nations, due to this travel restriction, everything is creating an issue. The material is not able to reach site. Workman is getting idle. No productivity is there. So these are the things which we face in the material part. Then comes the productivity issue. Productivity issue, which I meant, that is something which you will be seeing at site when you are working. And mostly if you are going to get an opportunity to work in Gulf. In Gulf, what happens? From 15 June to 15 September, there is a period called heat wave. What heat wave problem or a summer ban it is called. Now in this 15 June to 15 September, it is a government restriction or the government order to off the work. All the construction work will be off from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Now if our site starts at 6 a.m. in the morning and close at 5 in the evening, just imagine 12 to 3, the 3-hour loss. And that loss is taken by some workmen also because they will move early. 11:30 only they will go to washroom or to have something. They will move early and they will wait till 12 when the siren is there for the lunch, and they will be resting. Now instead of 3, sometimes the workmen come at 3:15, 3:20, and since they have to close by 5:30, everything, the productivity on 3 months, that is from June, July, August, September. This particular 4 months, the productivity is very less. So we have to perform night job also. Although we do nights, but the night job, the manpower is increased in order to mitigate the delay or mitigate the productivity problem. The second is whenever you are going for a construction and you have a consultant like McKinsey, Jacobs, Bechtel, then you have another client or consultant like I forgot one name, which is one of the stickers, very strict. These consultants are there. So safety has to be followed. So what do you mean by safety? Safety means there will be one safety engineer on every 50 workmen that is working at site, and you cannot take a safety engineer from a workman. Safety person has a separate separate degree or certificate which he has to show. He has to show the past he has performed the job. And when you have to do a job at night, so the ratio becomes every 30 workmen there has to be one safety person. So you can imagine how many safety person you have to hire apart from your own manpower or something like that. And in order to maintain the safety at site, everything has to be ensured. There are many rules and regulations which you break, you have to be going out of the site. And it has happened in many sites. In my site also, which I have explained last year, this is EGA. There it was Bechtel. And unfortunately, our 2 of the construction manager has to go to some different site, which were in UAE itself, because they have break some life critical rules. So these are the things which you have to follow. You have to keep into mind that these are the things which has to be done. And then there is a heat wave, which I explained in the productivity issue. Heat waves are there something to do with your health. You may be thinking you are very strong, you don't need anything, you are good to go. But in this Gulf region, the heat wave is huge. Many are there, many fatalities we have seen. Many people are getting headache or having some problem to work. These kind of things generally happens. And there are numerous other challenges which we are facing in site. Because, for example, the site which right now I am in, Saudi Arabia, although I have not mentioned that one, 7 working days. Hello? Sorry, I took the time a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
So just I'll tell you one more issue which we are facing at site. Yes. In my site where we are doing in Saudi Arabia, you won't believe in 7 days in a week, we are having 4 days as this dust storm. So you won't have a visibility of 20 meter or 15 meter. You won't be able to see, and the dust fine particles are there that even after wearing this, you will be swelling this dust, or the sandstorm will be there in your particles. So this is the challenge which we are facing in the construction. So with this, I would like to thank you all, and I'm open to all. I'm thankful first of all to hearing me so patiently. Although the presentation a bit large, I spoke continuously.
Okay, sir.
Because these are the things I felt
Thank you,
that
sir.
may be required when you want. Yes, Mr. Ahmed. Please, I'm open to question
For
which
taking
I
up time for us.
From
yes,
the
yes,
right,
thank you very much. Any questions are there? I'm ready to answer. Whichever I am aware, I will definitely try to help. Other than that, I will definitely check and let you know. Please.
Well, can you please show me that slide जिसमें client issues लिखा हुआ था?
Yeah. I'm on that side.
one by one.
Sir, I am just want to know about heat wave issues.
Yeah. Heat wave issues in the sense, if you are in India, you will be knowing that uh, due to this heat wave, in the sense it is a rise in temperature. It is nothing but what we call in Hindi, I am not sure. Here, Loo, I think some term is there that Loo lag gayi, you don't go near to that one. Where the heat wave means the summer, that there will be the air or the wave which is traveling, it is so much heat is there that your body temperature will get rise. So what happens that you will be feeling headache suddenly, and this air will be continuously going. Like you might be heard of sea breeze. Sea breeze is when the breeze or when the air from the sea is coming to the land, it is a cool breeze, which is known as sea breeze, because it is very cool and there. What is called in heat wave, when the temperature, because in UAE when we were working, the temperature was around 49 degree or 50 degrees centigrade at site. So what happens, the hot air that is traveling throughout the site, and whenever someone who is not so strong or even the strong enough also would get some, even if you're not drinking so much of water, then this particular heat wave will be hitting to you. It is a typical phenomena of uh, poor health. It will lead to your poor health. Headache will be there. You will be feeling vomiting, and these are the many symptoms which we have seen. So this is what a heat wave is there. This is particularly in Gulf region, where you have seen in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, UAE. These heat waves generally travel around 12 p.m. when the sun is at the noon, at the peak, till 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. This particular heat wave travels throughout the ground. So that's why the government had put a restriction of working from 12 to, because the sun will be at the peak on 12 p.m. and it will be coming to down. It will be going to west around 3 to 4 p.m. The heat wave will get reduced. This is what I mean. It is just a phenomenon of temperature.
Mic mute करो. Question
Is it okay?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
In this modern technical era, what are the skills that a student must have to get a job in various corporate sectors?
1 minute. I would like to share, because that was the last thing which I was prepared. See, as an individual, or someone mute your mic. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. So in this modern era, where we are going with all the digital part and something like this, you will be taught many things in your company, first of all. But to understand and to learn that, you have to have a basic grasp of everything. So what I would suggest, as an individual or as your college, both can come together, and you have this. I will share this website to Mr. Amit.
Yes.
He can review this one. This is called Skyfi Labs. This particular institute is providing online as well as classroom training, and this is a this group or this particular course has been created by an alumni of IIT Kanpur. So it is very reliable. What you need to do, you have a different courses. Whatever I have highlighted right now, these are all the online courses which you can learn, and you can get a training. If you join from 2 to 4 group in a person, your cost will be around 1300 or 1400. Also, you can call them in your college and they will be providing you the training. They are having different workshops. You can attend that workshop. So you can learn through GIS. What are the software you need to learn in the design phase? So SAP, ETAB, SAFE. Then when you're going to a site and construction, you are using CPM, there's construction project management. Then you have BIM. BIM is something which is going to be the future of this construction, I can tell you. Because I'm seeing this one particular in all the major projects in the Gulf part. Even in India also we are doing, but the majority which we are doing in the Gulf, to be honest. Then you have the tall building design. You have the construction technology. This is a career building course. So this will help you to develop your this career also. Then you have the design of foundation, construction project management, how you are going to use the Primavera, how you are going to use the Primavera risk analysis. What do you mean by risk analysis? Risk analysis means that if this particular risk is not attained, my activity is going to delay. For example, if you are not getting a concrete on time, your particular concreting or casting of a slab will get delayed. So that is a risk. That material delivery has to be on time. So that risk has to be assigned to someone who will ensure that risk is not assigned. Risk is not arising. So that particular part has to be taken in the Primavera. We have different features are there. So that will be taught into this particular thing. Again, BIM is there. This is only BIM, building information modeling. Then you have the seismic design. Then you have the quantitative surveying. This is one of the good software. I know you might be taught by your company, your college, this surveying, but this is one of the good things which I have seen on this particular field. What it do, it will provide you two software. One is ArchiCAD, another one is Primavera. And in ArchiCAD, you will be given a 2D structure. They will taught you how to calculate or estimate a building. So short wall method, long wall method, center line method, all these will be taught to you to calculate the quantity. These are all the designing software. When you are going to a design field, if you're requiring, you can learn ETAB, you can learn StatPro. StatPro is the most common software which we are also using in design phase. But apart from design, we are using StatPro, we are using SAFE, we are using ETAB, we are using, and these are the software which we have learned right now. Also ANSYS is there which we are using. Then you have the project management using MS, Microsoft Project. MS Project is good, but what I would recommend to all of you who are interested in scheduling to learn the project management with Primavera, because this is the thing which is required by every client. I can assure you, wherever you go, you will see that the client is asking you, where is the schedule, P6 schedule, where is the P6 schedule? This question will be coming to you. This is the answers. I don't think you require at this particular time. MEP, you can see, you can have this Tekla modeling, or you can use SketchUp. All these things can be done with this particular software, this particular website. You can contact them. They can come to your college. If you have a group of say 15 to 20%, they can come to your college. They can have a workshop, and it will be a very fruitful knowledge. Also, they can provide you a classroom program where you have to go in their college and their required workshop. It may be happening in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, anywhere you will be getting to know. So these are the things which I feel is essential for all the civil engineer right now to focus on to build a career. Because in colleges, yes, I also have been passed out from a college. I can understand the college can provide you the basic knowledge, but advancing and learning is a continuous process which you have to develop. You don't have to reframe once you are getting a degree. It doesn't mean that you will stop learning at all. You have to grow into our organization. You have to continuously learn. You have to continuously grasp all the information. For example, you can see that once you might have all heard this particular small story that once the Nokia was the market handler. Everyone in the last 15 years back, even my father was also using Nokia. Wherever you go, Nokia mobile was there. But right now you can see the future of Nokia. It has been overtaken by Samsung, Redmi, every other model, because they stick to their particular what you call island. They didn't develop. They didn't make everything accessible to each and every public. So in this way, you have to develop. You have to enhance your learning. You can have to get, first of all, you get a knowledge of AutoCAD. Although you might have got through your colleges, but to practice it, to get a feasibility, to get a free hand on that one, you have a different website in YouTube. You can learn from there. You can practice that at home. And if you don't have the AutoCAD, if at all you don't have the AutoCAD, you can definitely go to Autodesk website. You can register yourself as a student, reference provide your college, and they will give you free licensed version of AutoCAD. Although it will always show that yes, this drawing has been produced by AutoCAD student version, but that doesn't let you learn, that doesn't stop you from learning or practicing AutoCAD. So I would recommend that in this era where you have the internet, where you have everyone is maximum using a 4G or 4G plan, and everyone is having a 10G or 15 GB data. So what I would request, download it, license version, don't go for pirated. There will be many websites which will telling you pirated. It is authenticate. I myself have used for the 4 years in my college life. This particular software, AutoCAD. I registered in AutoCAD. Till now I am registered there. So you can register there. You can create an account. It's always free for students. And there are many other softwares that are free for students. Even for your faculty also, you ArchiCAD. If I have to mention, ArchiCAD is free for a student for 1 year. Although it is a trial version when you will be learning this, but for your institute, for you as an individual, it is a free 1 year license version you will be getting. Just imagine you will be having so much of software, just you have to learn it. And all the things are available in YouTube or through different platforms. So you will be getting a good knowledge of that one. That's what I can say.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
please. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I would like to know the methods which are being implemented to keep the construction project team motivated.
There are different methods, to be honest. To keep the team motivated, we are having recreation club website. We are doing different activities. We are having a get together. For example, let me just give you my site, because why I'm every time using my site, because my site is in the middle of the desert. That is 500 kilometers from Riyadh. I don't have anything. When I wake up and see the atmosphere, till my vision, my eyesight can see everywhere is only sandstorm or this desert is there. So how we are keeping the staff or myself motivated? We are having recreation clubs. We are having different cricket games. A tournament is there. We are having incentive program. Incentive program means if the workman, if say for execution field, there is a gang is there who has to do the welding, or the gang is there who has to do the erection work. So if they achieve this particular target in a say 1 week time, whatever the schedule is there, in that schedule they have achieved within quality, within safety, we give them voucher. Like in India, we have Big Bazaar. In Saudi or in Gulf, we have Lulu Market. I know the word is very funny, but that is the market is there, Lulu. So we give them the 100 Riyal or 200 Riyal vouchers to the workman on every time they achieve this particular target, on each and every workman. In this way, we are keeping them motivated. Also, we are having some get together, some different location. We are going to some resort, relaxing 1 day. 1 day site will be off. In that way, we are trying to do. But to be honest, the site is just like a border where the soldier or the construction has to go 24/7. If you take much leave, you will be delayed by a project. And delay means you will be getting a claim from your subcontractor and you will be getting a claim from your employer also. So you have to keep a balance of both the things. You have to motivate the staff also, and you have to see the schedule also. Because the schedule is the contractual term which you have agreed with the employer that within this certain period you will be completing the job with full quality and safety. So this is, I will say, and it's very friendly. You will come to know with all the different staff. You will be getting many different friends will be there, many colleagues of throughout the nation, throughout the globe. You will be getting, and you will be taking out time to yourself to get motivated. You will feel that one.
Okay, so thank you.
One thing I will say to all of you, that right now you will be a final year. You will be moving out in a college from a very few days, or you'll be going on. Don't stop learning. Even if you join in any company, okay, there are always option open to do the part-time BTech. So I would suggest to do that, because that is one of the degree or one of the certificate that will help you to grow in an organization. And if you're fortunate, if you're getting a company like L&T, it gives you that time. If you're an office job, to be honest, in office job only that will features will be working. Because as site, it's very difficult for getting a part-time. So if you're doing a part-time job, a part-time this BTech, some courses, L&T will give you some time. Okay, you can work up to 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., you can go to your part-time university or part-time college. So please, my request is there, whenever you find time, complete your graduation, because that will help you to grow in an organization. You won't be getting stuff, because many times whenever the appraisal time or whenever the bonus or something is come, or whenever your promotion times come, many features HR department see, okay, what this guy has done, how many degree he has done. So this is a continuous process which will be helping you to enhance your skill also, your knowledge also, and it will help you to grow in this organization, any organization which you are trying. So that is my request. Any other question, please?
Anybody questions? किसी
No, diagnosis only.
हेलो
Sorry?
हेलो
Yeah, yeah, please go on.
सर इसका जो सॉफ्टवेयर है वो हम लोग को पढ़ाया जाएगा तो वो पर मंथ लगेगा या हम लोग को एक बार देना पड़ेगा?
आप SciFi लैब की बात करें जो मैंने आपको दिखाया अभी,
यस सर।
ये वन टाइम चार्ज है। ये कोर्स को करने के लिए 1400 से आपका कॉस्ट रहेगा, लेकिन ये 1400 जो दिखाते हैं तो बेसिकली ये ग्रुप में एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि आप 5 फ्रेंड मिलकर अगर ज्वाइन करते हैं तो पर फ्रेंड को ये 1400 पड़ेगा। आप इंडिविजुअल जाएंगे तो हो सकता है ये 1800 पड़े। इसमें आपको सॉफ्टवेयर भी दिया जाएगा और आपको कोर्स के बारे में 2 टाइप का कोर्स रहेगा। या तो आप ऑनलाइन खुद से पढ़ लीजिए, उसमें आपको क्या रहेगा, जैसे मैं अभी प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहा हूँ वैसे प्रेजेंटेशन आएगा, वैसे कोर्सेज वीडियो आएंगी और हर वीडियो के बाद आपको क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा कि आपने क्या समझा है। आप जब क्वेश्चन पास करेंगे तभी नेक्स्ट कोर्स ओपन होगा, और नहीं तो आपको एक ऑनलाइन टीचर की जरूरत है तो उसका थोड़ा सा फीस अलग भी रहता है। आप उनकी वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे, आप उनसे कांटेक्ट करेंगे तो बहुत डिफरेंट आपको पता चलेगा कि क्या क्या उनका वे ऑफ टीचिंग है। तो ये आपको एक बार सर्च करना होगा। ये वन टाइम चार्जेस है, इसमें सॉफ्टवेयर सब कुछ इंक्लूडेड रहता है।
ओके सर।
हेलो
या
so I'm totally impressed by the working culture of UAE. So I'm putting a question on behalf of students. During this period of lockdown, what are the problems that has to be faced by students who are willing to opt the field in UAE?
sorry, once again, can you please repeat the question? I missed that part.
Actually, what are the problems faced by students who are willing to opt this field in UAE?
You mean to they are looking for a job in UAE?
So, yes.
Is my question, is my understanding correct?
Mhm. Hello.
Yeah, please go on.
So actually, I want to talk on behalf of students. Some students are willing to take a job there, and there are such a appropriate working culture is there. So I'm just asking for the what kind of problems they have to face there.
To be honest, if you are, first of all, Swiss civil engineering is a very vast and very bright future is there in this particular field. To go into any of the Gulf countries, to be honest, there are a lot of bluff and a lot of these false agents are there who will hire you that okay, we will be give me say 10,000 or 50,000 rupees and we will be get you a job in UAE. Don't opt for anything. My first request would be to all the colleagues and all the students that learn the job in India itself. Once you are having a knowledge and information, definitely the company which you are working will shift you to the to UAE, because not only L&T, it is, I mean, the store is there, then there is a Cayman India is there, then one more company, Tata, which is doing a construction, Tata Field also is there. So don't rush to UAE. First, let us learn the job in this particular part of the world, because what happens when you go as a fresher to UAE, they will be harassing you. I'm telling you openly, once you don't know the job or you have to learn that job, the things which you will be getting harassed, the timing will be difficult. So it is much better for you to go to a proper channel, in the sense that you join a company or you go through a company, because when you go a company, for example, like L&T, they will be taking care of you. You will be kept in a proper location, because what happens when you go through agent, they will be keeping you in some workman area that is not even hygienic, not even that clear is there. So I won't ask you to go through that one, because I've seen many cases in UAE, and they may also bluff you that you will be provided a job of supervisor, but at the end of the day you were given a job of welder, carpenter. So don't rush for UAE. You will be going in UAE, you will be getting the job, trust me. But first, get a on-hand experience in India, learn the job, how the client is dealt, how the things are executed inside. And once you have the knowledge, definitely anytime your management or your company which you are working will see your work. And definitely there are so much of requirement in Saudi, UAE, even in Gulf. Not only these 2 countries, you can go to Qatar, Oman, then Saudi, UAE, anywhere you want. Wherever the project is there, the company will definitely shift you there. But first, my request would be to get an on-hand knowledge or on-hand job experience here. Then only you think of that one. Because it is just like a silver spoon which looks beautiful from outside. The UAE is so much beautiful, so much there. But once you reside, you will come to know the actual reality of the UAE.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for.
My only request is plus get in job on hand experience, learn the things, and then definitely at one time you will be called. So don't rush for UAE. Rush for the job you take in India. Understand the job, implement the learnings, whatever the things you have to upgrade yourself, and then the market is open for you. It is just like the sky is the limit. You can go anywhere. But right now, as a fresher, it will be difficult for you to survive in such a huge market. That's what I can say.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your advice.
My pleasure. Any other question?
Any other question? Due to limited session, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm here only.
Okay. Any more question? No, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go on.
No, sir.
Sir, how?
Please tell me.
Ask question.
Sir, how can a fresher student can get a job in company like L&T? Because in nowadays, wherever you go, the company asks you to experience.
There are two things which you have to get. I can explain you 2 or 3 ways. Please be patient on that one. First is the mode of recruitment in any company, not only L&T. So the mode is first with the campus. First the campus, if your college is able to call L&T or some other construction company, first is that one where you are getting placed in campus. If not, there's no option. There's no issue. Second thing is that you all guys are now very much active in Facebook or social media.
Yes.
Okay.
So
all of you are weak. You have to just get into a group, or you have to just keep a track of L&T's website, L&T or any other construction company Facebook. There the requirement are shared. For example, the interview is there, so you can look into that particular part also. Third, you can start working with small company. Don't go for L&T. If you are, definitely it's much better if you go. But if you're not getting L&T or the company, don't get disheartened. You can get in L&T with experience also. So you can join some small company. You can work, learn, and then you can have L&T will definitely call you also. So that is one of the cases. So what I would say, that keep a track on social media what L&T or L&T with this particular opening is there. That is L&T or our Facebook, this social media group is always, they are posting that we need supervisor, we need this one, recruitment is there. Only thing you have to ensure, any company, L&T, Gaiman India or any company which ask you to have to pay money, say 10,000 rupees for a registration, that is a bluff. Don't ever pay any single penny. No construction or no company, not even construction. None of the company will ask you to give a payment or pay for registration. They will ask you this payment is for your flight ticket, your hotel stay, your accommodation. It is all bluff. Since we are in a job seeking environment, we require job, we unknowingly pay them the 10,000 rupees and it is gone. You never get a job, you lost 10,000, you get disheartened. So my first and clear instruction is there, don't even get caught in the trap of this, that you have to pay 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. This is for your flight, this is for your hotel. L&T signature will be there. You won't believe, my construction or my HR signature will also get copied. Don't get into that bluff. No company, L&T or any other, will ask you money to get you a job. If they ask you money, you complain to the HR manager, that person will be sacked from the company. That is a true 100% role which we are following. So that is the first thing. So in order to get the job sickness, try with L&T. You can have some, in Ranchi, I remember, I'm not sure, but L&T is doing some job. Maybe some water resource, water plant is there, Patratu, in Patratu area or something like that. You can discuss, you can, if you are having a time, you can visit and you can ask them what is the job requirement. So what they do, what can they do for a person or for people of Ranchi? You can go and provide your degree certificate that I have this particular part or I want to have a internship with you. So what will happen? They will check with their HR manager, and if they can provide you the internship, first go for internship. 6 month internship, give your best shot. Whatever they are saying, do that one. Maybe what they will ask you to come in 4 in the morning and leave 8 in the evening. The time is very strict, but these are all the days of judgment or the trials which you will be going through. Once you are successful, there will be you can ask or you can discuss with them how I can get higher in this particular company. So what they can do in 2 parts. First, you can be on payroll. You will be, means you are getting a job, you will be getting an offer letter. Second thing, they can give you as a, what you call, you will not be directly in L&T, you will be a vendor also or a workman who are working under L&T. So that will not be a direct job, that will be an indirect job. The letterhead will be always L&T, but not in a direct payroll. You will be getting your money separately, your payment or your salary separately. So these are the things which I will say, and you can check with them, you can have a discussion. You have to just keep a track of what the jobs or openings are coming. So, and at the same time, you have to enhance your learning skills also. I believe all of you in the 3rd year of your course, you might have done the internship. Am I correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So, you all have done the internship?
Yes,
Because
sir.
that is one of, internship means industrial training, where you visit the site, you understand what the site is there. This is one of the part of the course, I believe that one. Maybe it is updated and I'm not sure. It was there when our time was there. When I have done, we had 2 industrial training. So one I did in Macon and one I did in HEC, heavy engineering. So these 2 industrial trainings are compulsory for us. So in the same way, I believe that it will be one, even at one industrial training you might have gone. And I would also request your HOD that if he can arrange some site inspection, where you can understand what are the construction stages are there, how it is done. That will also be helpful for you.
Yes, sir.
So I will just request, keep your eyes open. You all are a social media. You are going, you know, Facebook, Snapchat, you know all these things very well. So it is much better if you can take care, if you can keep a track of all those openings wherever coming in. Don't put a particular one company, only L&T I need. No, you can give a option to all the company, whichever is not big enough, you can look into that one. Because right now the stage for you is not big or small. The stage for you is to learn. Because whatever the learning in college, that is a one part. Now the actual learning will be there in the site, where you will be giving a different work, different scope, which you might not have learned or not even learned in your college course. But that will be easier for you to enhance your skill and show the company that how much talented you are. And one thing more I would say, that I hope all of you are good in MS Office. Although the training is there by the college also. But keep a good track of your Excel. MS Excel plays a very good role when you get into company. Because in Excel, apart from addition, subtraction, you can do a lot of things. We do all our billing, invoicing, cash retention, then what you call, this invoicing tracking, everything is done in Excel. So you can do the Excel part. You have to go. You should be hands-free in Excel. That's what I would say. You don't need to think of, okay, which command I should do. If I have to add, I have to subtract. So you should be acquainted with MS Office at least. Word and Excel is good. Presentation, PowerPoint, if you know, it's much better. I thought of doing some animation in this one, but I didn't understand that whether it will be helpful or not. So I didn't do animation. But in PowerPoint, you have different animations. You can create animations. You can show them how the things will be done, and it will be a much more to your actually do a value addition in your course or in your degree. That's what I can.
Question else? Any question else, students? No more questions, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, you can ask. Hello?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, please go on.
Any question else? No, sir. No more questions, sir. From
Okay, Mr. Amit.
Yes,
I would
sir.
like to thank all the participants for patiently hearing and understanding. It was a very interactive session. I feel If anything I have missed, and I'm sorry if something is not clear, please do tell me. Whatever information I have, I will definitely respond to you. I will provide you the information. And I hope all the best to all of you. I pray for your good future and keep learning.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your view with us. They are very helpful to understand all the challenges that a civil engineer has to face at construction site. Thank you, sir, for your precious time to make this webinar a success. Once again,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to all of you, and I wish you all the very best in the future.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
Bye.